Greetings, everyone. My name is John Comazzi. I'm an associate professor of architecture at the University of Virginia. In this video, I will introduce a new topics course offered by the School of Architecture at UVA during the spring of 2022. The course, Architecture 5500, Section 8, Design Build Research Seminar, will initiate a long-term design build partnership with Albemarle County Parks and Recreation and the Ivy Creek Foundation that will provide a distinctive learning experience unique to collaborative design build projects. The first in a series, this 3-credit course will be run as a research-based topics seminar, open to all graduate students and upper-level undergraduate students, so that's 3rd and 4th years, across departments in the School of Architecture, including architecture, landscape architecture, planning, and architectural history. Students outside of the School of Architecture may also be admitted in the class and should reach out to me for additional information. Students in this seminar will conduct detailed design research to establish the parameters, constraints, and opportunities for a future design build studio that will be offered in the spring of 2023, with a final construction and assembly in the summer of 2023. This course will leverage the power of a collaborative and community-based process by integrating the skills and knowledge of the academy, design professionals, industry partners, and of course our community partners as well. Students will work in small teams to produce a comprehensive design research manual that will include historical analysis, site documentation, material prototyping, precedent studies, budget projections, code evaluations, and preliminary design feasibility studies. For this project, we will work with the Albemarle County Parks and Recreation on several sites to identify opportunities to integrate a series of new structures and pavilions that align with their larger mission of access to their parkland and trails. In particular, the Ivy Creek Natural Area offers a unique opportunity to collaborate with the Ivy Creek Foundation to advance their educational programming, highlighting the significant African-American history and cultural legacy of the Carr and Greer families who began farming the historic Riverview Farm shortly after emancipation. In addition to the historical significance of this site, we will also work with the Albemarle County Parks and Rec and the Ivy Creek Foundation to identify opportunities to elevate the ecological diversity and rich natural landscapes for visitors to their site. The Ivy Creek Foundation already manages the site in partnership with Albemarle County, and they have a rich offering of educational programming, as well as some existing infrastructure to gain access to their parkland. Here you see some examples of that. In addition to the Ivy Creek Natural Area, we will also work with Albemarle County Parks and Rec to identify other opportunities to open up greater access and engagement within an expanded network of trails along the Rivanna River. In particular, their future planning for the Rivanna Greenway, Old Mills Trail, and the Blue Way Riverview Park to Milton trails. We may also find opportunities in other sites throughout the county. Here are some examples of some recent installations and development, and just some of the imagery of the kinds of sites that we will be exploring throughout the seminar. Students in the course will also collaborate with officials in the Albemarle County Parks and Rec to explore innovative uses and applications for upcycled wood materials sourced from various sites within the county. In particular, the hundreds of large caliper ash trees slated for removal due to the devastating effects of the emerald ash borer beetle. While we will focus on the unique historic and natural context of Albemarle County, this project resonates with a previous design build project I managed in partnership with the Anoka County Parks and Rec in central Minnesota. What follows is a brief description of that project just to illustrate the possible scope, scale, and design feature of this collaboration with Albemarle County. So this project was in particular cited in the Wargo Nature Center, where Anoka County ran several educational programs for school children, in particular their Heritage Lab, and also the YMCA used this site for a summer camp. Anoka County asked us to explore opportunities for a series of outdoor learning pavilions and classroom spaces that could be used by both the Heritage Lab and YMCA. So we began with site analysis and also program development and feasibility studies. That then moved into a design process where the students worked rather quickly to develop a series of over 300 small scale models, exploring all the opportunities of working in particular with wood members. Those were ultimately narrowed down to 3 possible schemes in consultation with Anoka County. And then we moved forward with 3 specific pavilions, employing one of those strategies on 3 different sites. And you can see here, these are the early design collages to show how each of those installations would take that specific technique of assembly and transform it per each site. So each was then developed in greater detail. After which we were able to develop a series of full-scale mock-ups and prototypes to test the assembly of different components, ultimately building a full-scale mock-up for the final design review. And then we also worked closely with a professional structural engineer to meet all of the structural requirements for the county. Following the design studio that summer, a group of 9 students and myself prefabricated as many of the components as we could in the school's shop. It was about an hour away from the site. And then installed and assembled each of the pavilions on site over about a 4-month period. And here you see some of that installation process. Here are the 3 pavilions completed, and then being used here by both the YMCA summer camp and the Heritage Lab educational programming. There was a 4th pavilion that was designed for the YMCA's archery range. And for this pavilion, we worked closely with 2 local industry partners, Radius Track, who specializes in custom bent light gauge steel, and MG McGrath, an innovative sheet metal fabricator. Here you see some of the process of constructing the full-scale mock-up produced for the final review, and then some of the installation and construction photos. and the project after completion. In addition to that project, of course, we'll look broadly at other examples in partnership with Albemarle County to identify the kinds of projects, the scope, and the scale of work that may be appropriate for their particular sites. And these are just some other examples of projects that we will delve into more deeply throughout the research component of this seminar. So please feel free to reach out to me with any additional questions. More information can also be found attached to the course description in the university's Student Information System, or SIS. Otherwise, feel free to reach out to me and I can certainly give you any more detailed information that you may need. Thank you. I hope to see many of you in the spring semester.